NASA sent humans back towards the moon with Artemis 2, the first crewed mission of the Artemis program. The mission carried 4 astronauts on a roughly 10-day journey around the moon and back to Earth, marking the first time in over 50 years that humans traveled beyond low Earth orbit. Unlike future missions, Artemis 2 did not land on the lunar surface. Instead, it focused on fully testing the Orion spacecraft, the Space Launch System rocket, and onboard life support systems in deep space, sending back critical data and media back home all the while. After launching from the Kennedy Space Center on day 1, Orion separated and entered high Earth orbit, beginning its deep space test run about 44,500 miles above Earth. On day 2, the spacecraft departed Earth's orbit and started its trajectory towards the moon. Between day 3 and 5, the crew trekked towards the moon while sending back high-definition video of the journey. The mission's main event occurred on day 6, a brief flyby of the moon's far side, during which communication with Earth was temporarily lost, an expected blackout that helped engineers test Orion's navigation and autonomy systems. During this flyby, Artemis 2 set a new record for the furthest humans traveled into space, surpassing Apollo 13, which reached 200,048,655 miles above the moon in 1970. From days 7 through 9, astronauts conducted medical checks and prepared for the return journey using the moon's gravity to slingshot Orion safely back towards Earth. On day 10, Orion endured extreme conditions as its heat shield reached up to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit during re-entry, culminating in a splashdown in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of California. The mission was historic, featuring the first woman, first Canadian, and first person of color to travel around the moon, and its success confirmed that the Orion space module can safely carry humans on long-duration missions, making Artemis 2 a critical dress rehearsal for the Artemis 3 lunar landing. A truly historic start to a new era of exploration that will inspire a new generation.